Kia ora from Aotearoa. It's Poppy here, very late report on the night wave. We're actually on the last day of the night wave, and I had been hoping to do a report on the first day of the night wave. However, I got kind of struck down by a heart attack. So this night wave that that began around the 16th or 17th of July, depending where you are, on the date line, which is the false time construct. Yeah, that began then, and it's actually finishing today in this energy here of 8 wind. Yeah, so it's just so interesting. I was struck down with a heart attack at the beginning of this one, because to me this is actually really foundational and key information that needed to get out there. And the day before, I had done a report on finishing off the day wave. I'd been shown a bit more of exposure of myself, and I'd already had some attacky sort of stuff coming in, and yeah, more stuff did evolve. And what do we do with that? We turn it all around for good. I could see where attacks were coming from, and really those that are still at it are really hurting themselves now. Yeah, because this transferring of energy is ceasing and stopping as we have been going through this night wave, and it is very much it's been energy harvesting in sexuality. So honesty, transparency, justice in the self-generation of energy with sensuality and with sexuality, that's what this night wave was about. So energy has been taken and lost and transferred due to broken sexuality, social conditioning, regarding beliefs about relationships, intimacy, gender and roles. And so this has been a time for sexual healing and awareness that flowed on through the healing day wave of 12 Deer. And as I experienced a heart attack on day one of this night wave, and hospitalization and sustained injuries, oh my gosh, to my arm, I was unable to present my report on time, and actually it's been the first day that I've been able to write, so I've been able to finish this off. Yes, it was an attack. My coronary arteries are very healthy. The message of aligning with nature and receiving the cosmic light that comes through the sun, which actually flared furiously throughout this night wave, is foundational to our I am existence. It actually starts down there at the root of our being, at our sexuality. And this is why I think there is such attempts to have so much confusion to do with that. It was so interesting that the whole Olympics thing came out as well, and that really showed that sort of confusion and non-acceptance of the self, and all the things that started to come in with things that were illusions, like Greek gods, and assigning energies and powers and things to astrology, which actually was worked off the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar was stolen and taken back to the Vatican, and astrology was formed out of it, and then they re-channeled time as if it were to come off the planet Saturn, which is the god Cronus, who means, that chronological time and timelines and chronology. I mean, that is the shattering that needs to be shattered in our belief systems, because this is the connecting to the false time construct, which keeps people in a karmic paradigm. Anyway, where was I? Back up here. So the message of aligning with nature and receiving the cosmic light that comes through the sun. Okay, that fled furiously. So this when the sun is flaring like that, that means that we're getting so much more photonic light now, light codes that are actually coming in and creating this awareness and this change. And it's very much a choice. There are those that are wanting to be with nature and experience nature and live in a natural world that would actually work, because nature would not be usurped or polluted or harnessed and her energy taken. But there are many, many that do want to live in a very unnatural world. And there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of trauma to do with sexuality and broken sexuality, and the choices that people make out of that. So to target our sexuality has been a major agenda to keep us in a false time construct where our energy could be harvested from. So our sexuality and our child's sexuality is protected as we love and accept our physical form as it is. That's accepting what is natural, what is here. You know, like there were times where I had no acceptance, and that I know that if I was a young person going through those things and the transgender things were available to me, of course I would have been very attracted to that. And this is the sadness, is that a lot of people are getting attracted to that, and then they're losing what is their natural DNA coded thing that they came into this life with. And it's a choice, but our children are getting programmed now through schools, and my answer to that is take your children out of school, homeschool them, because these schools, I mean, the system sees them as belonging to them. The system sees everybody as a ward of the state and being adhered to and binding contracts with them. And so we actually have to free ourselves of the bindings that come with that. I'm a little bit all over the place today, but there's just so much going on. So the Olympic energy, that's really, really, really highlighting this energy at the moment. This is the energy of worship, of competition, of cheering, of clapping, energy that boosts athletic performance, to foster competition and removal of the natural order of nature, and belief is what binds people to the karmic wheel based on these Greek gods. Astrology connecting time to Saturn and Satanism. So we may rise above this as we return to nature. So the light codes that come through the sun, I mean, this is photonic light. This is now. So time is quite an illusion. So when we are receiving the light of the sun in nature, it's about being now, and it's about being in this present moment, and free of time, but living in this world where everything is scheduled and planned. That brings us constantly brings people back to the power of the Gregorian calendars and these satanic calendars that hold that energy of ritual, where sexuality is being attacked through many, many people. So when we got to halfway through 13 Jaguar here, that was the biggest, major meditative energy. It was a very profoundly deep, so people may have found that they've actually been in a very profoundly deep state if they've been connecting with nature and the natural light codes. So that's an opportunity. This was an opportunity for 9 days of deep meditation with nature, knowing ourselves and our authentic sexuality as a natural human being, freed from the effects of unnatural human desires and passions. whilst honouring and not denying the fullness and the flow of energy through our form. And this will cause us to rise up like an eagle with grander and more healthy perspectives that nurture and respect the sexuality and sensuality of others, and of course ourselves in that. In nature, we are free of schedules, plans, and adhesions to the false time construct. We have a lot to remember to live aligned with nature again. So connecting with nature will remind us how to do this again. Like, we really are so disconnected overall that people don't even sort of know what it was, you know, to say, look, I'll see you in 2 suns, and then we all naturally felt each other telepathically, and then those gatherings would come together, that kind of thing. People have been even finding it very strange that I gain most of my information through meditation, and that I have gained most of my meditation and remembrance through meditation and seeing into my own being and my own way, and asking the big questions about life and nature, and actually finding it in nature. And that is the natural way, and that is also the way of the shaman, the meditator, and that was that energy that we are just finishing today, in the energy of 8 wind, which is the ultimate integration of the perfect spirit of honesty being communicated and spoken. So yeah, we had that full moon. I would have been in hospital in that damn full moon. I think I was vaguely aware. I couldn't even see nature in hospital. It does remove you from nature and puts you straight onto unnatural drugs and all sorts of things. And I've had to find my way back to myself and nature afterwards again. Yeah, still grateful to the ambulance people and the amazing staff and people that are in there that really do look after you. But of course there's all sorts of dangers and things in hospitals that make it very dangerous, and one has to be very intuitive and have their wits about them to survive a hospital stay. There were some pretty big things that happened while I was there. Yeah, so that full moon was about completion of old cycles regarding love, loyalty, and justice, and beginning the truer ways of love, heart, connection, and justification with natural living. And this is about also the ability of human beings to connect with each other in a way that is not attaching, that is not taking, and that is not harnessing energy, but absolutely values the other. And that it's about connection where neither one loses themselves in the other or takes that energy of the other, but it's all done with the utmost respect. And yeah, just this little notes just regarding one eagle moving into that Tracina, which is the second to last Tracina of the Tzolk'in, and we actually complete the Tzolk'in right at the conclusion of the day wave before the night wave begins. So this is quite amazing, and that's what I'll be working on next. And I have dealt with the principality of death so that I shall hopefully not be undermined and seized and attacked anymore. So rising up, finding freedom and evenly balanced wings of both sacred masculine and sacred feminine energy. That is the complete and whole human being. That means that when we do connect with another, we are already whole within ourselves. We maintain our energy, responsible for our energy, how we share our energy, and ultimately that we are growing and learning to do no more harm. So much love to you. Travel well, and I will be back with the day wave very soon.